This is the spot. I'm gonna pop in and have a look. Right, good morning viewers. It's an early start for me for my last leg back on my homeward bound trip. And it's pretty gusty again. Looks like I'm going to be tackling the wind all the way home. But it's at least not as cold as what they predicted. It was supposed to be -3 this morning. It's only about 9 degrees. Just need to find a filling station to top up quick. Should have done that yesterday. I see one in sight. That's good news. All topped up. Gonna see another nice sunrise this morning, leaving so early. And I think I'm gonna beat the snow. I reckon if it's this temperature now, the snow may only fall this evening in the areas that I'm passing. And with this major cold front that's been coming up through the Cape, it's just on the tail of me. I can see the cold front is definitely moving over. Very cloudy to the right here. I think there's some rain on its way, but I think I may just miss it because I'm riding ahead of it. And then towards Durban, once I arrive, I'll be riding into it. Might catch a bit on the way home, on the last little stretch on the way home. Hopefully not. Coming down into Harry Smith, or very close to. I'm going to take a right and head on the back roads down the same pass we came up on the first leg, just after the Stakfontein Dam. Might just stop in for a little breakfast at the Windmills if they're open. But it's been rather icy cold this morning. It's gone down to about half a degree in some places. But I haven't got too much further to go home. It's about 400 k's just over, and should cover that in a couple of hours. Coming up past my favourite dam in this part of the country. It's the Stakfontein Dam. We passed on our way up as well. Over the Drakensberg mountain tops over there's a bit of snow from still when we've passed, but the clouds are starting to cover. I'm almost going around the cold front now that's come up, and I'm sure those clouds are going to be dropping some snow this evening over the mountain tops. Quite certain. So I'm quite pleased I didn't go through the Lesotho. I'm pretty certain I would have been either snowed on today or either locked in there. And it's very, very cold to be stuck in Lesotho. Very often the Van Riemen's Pass closes as well, which is not too far off from here. From Harry Smith, we go down Van Riemen's Pass from Harry Smith, and that's one of the first passes to close. The last glimpse of Stakfontein Dam. Till the camel and us, see you next time. This will be my breakfast stop. Back at the Windmills, where we stopped for a coffee on the way up on the first leg on day one. Right, let's fill the tummy. Just topped up on a lekker English breakfast, and I'm about to hit the road again. It has the wind has absolutely picked up something incredible. I can hardly keep my bike up on the stand over here. It is horrendous. Let's see how this is going to be for the next couple of k's. It is also very, very cold now in the Drakensberg. This cold front has moved right over the berg already. You can see the clouds in the distance are reaching me already. I'm just hoping to get past Mooi River before it catches up with me, especially the rain. Let's go for it. This is one of my favourite passes to come down as well as up. It's just so scenic coming down. I'm mentioned in day one, in the first leg, how beautiful it was to come up and down. But today you get to see how it looks on the way down. It's just absolutely beautiful. And the day is clear enough to see quite far as well. I didn't realize on day one when we had a look at that dam how low it was. It seems quite critical. So the predicted snowfall for the mountaintops over there will be absolutely brilliant for filling that dam up when it starts melting. Drakensberg really does rely on the snowfall every year for filling up the dams and keeping the rivers flowing. Highly important for that snowfall every year. But I can feel that icy chill in the air now for that snow that's coming. You can see ahead there. I think that cold front has actually moved in on me already. What a lekker pass to come down. Just love the corners on this pass. The wind at the bottom of the pass is just as bad here. The wind is so bad here, I'm almost leaning over 45 degrees. It's just horrendous. But once you start to turn around all the bends and it gets up behind you, it feels like the camel's nitrous button has just been pressed once it gets behind you. It's quite awesome then. I've just taken a slight detour passing through Winterton. There's a little antique shop that I want to stop at and just see if there's any paraphernalia there that's interesting, or something I might be able to take as souvenir home for the man cave. This is the spot. I'm going to pop in and have a look at the antique shop here. Let's have a squiz. There it is, quite interesting antiques, that's the name of it. I really do enjoy stopping here and checking it out when I pass. Always find something to buy. This used to be an old weaving factory over here. You can still see the old machinery. Right, so I've walked out with not too much to buy there, but just some little bits of smalls that I don't have. I'd call it some nice junk. Let's see what I've got. A couple of small bits and bobs just to add to the weight of the bike. Lovely. The old goodies. Should be able to sneak those in without my wife knowing. Once they're all displayed up there, it looked like they've been there a lifetime. Should never know. Next stop, a fuel up in about 50 or 60 k's time, and then straight home to Margate. The last leg stretch just before I arrive home with a lack of view. Eastern Valley. Pretty awesome out here. Yeah, not looking forward to arriving home. It means back to the grindstone. But so it must be. It's rather warm back in KZN again, back to 28 degrees, so I've certainly missed the cold front that I thought might hit me on the way home. Pretty certain I'm not going to see any of it until tomorrow morning or late this evening, which I will be watching the goggle box by then. Just shed a couple of layers and put my other gloves on so that I can enjoy the breeze on the way back, the warm breeze. Let's hit it. Just got schwazzed on by the cow in the back of that van before overtaking. Yeah, stop. Yummy. Yeah. first thought it was the bloke washing his windscreen in front with a cow on the back. But then I realised it's not. Most of you know already I'm allergic to the highways and byways unless it's necessary to cover some ground as quick as possible when necessary. The highway is just ahead of me. I'm so tired of travelling the last 250 k's on the highway. I know of a rural road that'll crisscross backwards and forwards over the highway. Some of it will cover some of the rural area. It's a road less travelled, and some of it will come back to the coastline. I'll be zigzagging across from one side of the highway to the other and follow that as close as possible to home. This is it. Not many people take this road anymore. It's not in good condition, but it's quite a scenic little route. But you'll see why I fancy this road shortly. It's just got some lovely little scenic areas to go through. This is one of them coming up now. Lovely old original single width structure bridge. Now how cool is that? That's all that was available in the old days. There wasn't a highway that used to go past Belovo area. This was the route through. I see the locals are still using it, and it seems like it's not in bad shape either. A couple of rusty bits on it, but it's still holding. They just don't build things like they used to, do they? The highway is just in the distance there. I'm going to cross over to the coastline now, travel a bit on the coastline, and then I'm going to chop over the highway again, get back into the rural area a couple of k's on from that. Just lovely and scenic, this little route on the estuaries over here. This is Umkomaas area, and finally the sea. It's good to see the sea again after 2,000 or 3,000 kilometers of bushveld and flat roads. This is awesome. It's just great that you can get on your motorcycle and get out there and tour, and you can see the bushveld, the game reserves, the rural areas, the coastline, all in one day. If you ain't got a bike yet, it's about time you consider it. Just so lekker, this old road. There's a highway in the distance. I'm about to cross over the highway again to head off to the rural side again. You know, there's so many blokes that have got these adventure bikes that get together and they want to go for a ride, and they're always saying, which road should we take? That one's got potholes, that one's got gravel. I mean, why did you buy your adventure bike? Jump onto it and put some good music on in the headset and come and enjoy the road less travelled. Just take it easy. Don't worry about the potholes and the rubber and the gravel. I mean, look at this. Where can you enjoy this? Not on the highway, guys. Use your adventure bike for what you bought it for. It's not about travelling as fast as it can go. It's about enjoying the ride. I mean, you can't beat this experience. Another single width structure bridge. This is an old road. But I mean, look how beautiful it is up the valley there. Look at it here. Just the rock structures and everything. So pleasing on the eye to look at rather than the highway. It's just magnificent, man. And the corners on these old roads are just something to die for. I mean, look at them. Oh man, just fantastic. What a lekker way to end off my trip today. So much fun. Of course, you've got to watch out for the speed bumps on the old roads here, or the roads less travelled. They got 101 of them there. My nemesis. I've had to get back on the highway. But that last 70 k's was awesome. On the homeward bound trip, I've had so much time just to mull over the things of the past 10 to 12 days in Botswana and Namibia. And I'm thinking there were so many things that I could have or would have or should have changed this way or that way. But I'm glad I didn't. Because without all those things that I did or didn't do, that's where my school fees came in. And I've learnt a lot on this trip. A lot of do's and don'ts. And for that I'm pleased. I went with everything in the kitchen sink. But I'll be much wiser on the next trip. On any long loop that I'm going to do. I'm going to have a bit more wisdom from the school fees I've paid on this one. And on that thought, that brings this homeward bound trip to an end. Just to end off the homeward bound trip, I'm going to stop in at our local for a quick celebratory ale. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen, on that Botswana and Namibia trip and homeward bound, and thanks for watching.